the mailman just dropped a package at the door that we're going to open up, and if the order was right, in here should be a brand new Bluetti EB150 power station. Let's take a look to see what's inside.
How heavy is that box?
So on this side, I'm having trouble reading exactly what it is. The picture looks like I think what it's supposed to be, but yes, indeed, if we turn it around, it says that the box within a box does contain the Bluetti EB150 power station for indoors and outdoors. But we have another box we have to get into. All right, instructions, warranty card. Next, we have a box with more stuff. And a brand new Bluetti power station. We have two reasons for this purchase. One is we have an upcoming camping trip that we're taking where we will be in Sequoia National Park for about a week. No power hookups at the campsite. We do have a Champion generator that we'll be using to get us power to top off the batteries on the Airstream. But as we'll probably have electronic devices with us, be it cell phones, maybe iPads, cameras, things that are going to need recharging, enough days out in the woods where it's going to be helpful to have something like this to power up the electronics. And then the second reason for this is living in Southern California, where we have occasional power outages from the local power company here. We live in an area that's prone to brush fires, and that's one of the reasons that from time to time the power management has the power go down. A few months ago we had power down for close to 24 hours. So in those kind of cases, it's also nice to have portable energy backup in something like this. So again, if we want to power our computers, cell phones, lights, this is going to give us that option. Looking at power stations, there was a lot on the market. There are stations by companies like Jackery. We looked at some of those. Several models available from Bluetti. Ended up purchasing this one for a couple of reasons. One is just from a weight perspective. This was a little bit on the lighter side compared to some of the other options that had more power available to them. But then also even some of the other models that had, I think it was around 2,500 watts or so versus the 1,500 on this one. The power usage, my understanding is once they're going, is they would drain quicker than this model would. So we're not going to get the same amount of maximum juice out of this unit, but it's going to keep things going for a longer time. Or at least that's the theory. So we are set for camping. We're going to take this to Sequoia National Park with us and see how it works for us with 5 days in the woods. Hopefully we'll keep everything humming. All right, Julie, so the small box, what do we got?
We got the power supply, and then you've got the plug that goes into the wall that goes into the power supply, and that's how you're going to power up the Bluetti. And then you've got some various, it looks like 2 cables here, we believe for solar, if you have the solar set up. So we have the 2 AC outlets right here, and this is a fan that runs when it's powering things up to keep things cooled off a bit. And on this side, we have power, we have the DC, and we have the AC. And next to each one of those is a light that turns to green. You have a readout screen, you have a 12 volt, and then you have all your USB. And we have this cable that goes into the input here on the Bluetti. So we're going to plug that in. And immediately you see that the power button is on. It indicates a green light. We have a battery charging icon that shows that the battery is charging up. And we have an input reading at this point of 205 about watts. When the battery is completely charged, it will automatically shut off on its own. The power supply box does make a noise. It's kind of like a small white noise. It's not bothersome at all. It sounds just like a little small fan that's running. So no problem with that at all. And we will continue to charge her up and see what's next.
All right, so not sure if this comes out in the video real well, but the battery icon now is solid, it's not flashing, and that means that the charge is done. So we started charging the Bluetti about 6 hours ago, a little less than that. I think I had read that the charge was going to take about 8 hours, at least out of the box. I don't know if it had any charge on it already. The charging is done in less than 6 hours. We went out for a little bit, came back home here, looked at the indicator, and it's all done. So it is ready to take on a trial run. Bluetti, we're gonna see about plugging the Airstream into this for a little bit because it's way too early. It's like 6:30 in the morning, too early for generator hours. But yeah, you know, we haven't even been here half a day, used power inside super minimally. The battery reader is at 12.4, which is kind of midway between fully charged and your battery being at 0. So that's concerning. We'll have to see what else we have to do different, because we've run almost nothing inside the Airstream last night. If the lights got flipped on, it was probably for a total of no more than 30 seconds. So it's a little strange. Brand new battery too, that we just got about 6 months ago. But anyways, it would be helpful to get some toppage going off on the Airstream battery. Too early in the morning to run the power generator, and we're going to be heading off on an early morning hike. So again, yeah, the experiment today is plug her into the Bluetti. This thing is fully charged up. Get some juice on the Airstream battery and charge one cell phone so we can get some more video while we're hiking. It's going to be an all-day hike, and when we get back, we'll see what happens with the Airstream battery. Hopefully we also get some sun action that'll get some recharge happening off of the solar. We only have a 100-watt solar panel, and I'm not sure how efficient it is. So we're gonna learn something by the end of the day, and that's the story this morning. All right, let's see what we got. Power going on the Bluetti, and AC is on. And if all goes well, this should be providing juice to the Airstream, I hope. And we are seeing a draw 400 watts. There we go. Let that run for a bit. So when I plugged in the Bluetti outside, I noticed that initially it was drawing about 375 watts, give or take a few, which seemed, you know, given the fact that we got nothing going on in the Airstream, like, you know, quite a bit of draw. And then when I peeked my head in the door just to get a sense of what was going on, I did also notice that we had the red lights showing under the TVs, which we're not using and we're not going to use this trip. But seeing that light there, that was also a visual indicator that, hey, there's a power draw, even if it's small-ish, getting pulled by the TVs. And we have two of them. We have one by the dinette in the front, and then we have one in the bedroom area in the back. So we unplugged both of those. So shortly after unplugging those TVs, going back to check the Bluetti that's in the back of our truck connected to the Airstream, the power draw looked like it went down to about 180 watts. So that's just connected to the trailer raw, plus we are charging one cell phone. And with that, going back to our battery monitor, just within a few minutes, our battery is showing back at 13.5. Green zone on the battery health. Winner, we are happy. We've got a total of about 1,500 watts available to us on the Bluetti. I do want to make sure I have it available for charging gizmos during our trip. So I'm going to let it run for no more than an hour this morning, but that should be helpful in topping off the battery. One issue at a time, and the biggest issue we have right now is the battery on the Airstream. All right, guys, so that's the review of the Bluetti EB150. Turned out to do exactly what we hoped to do. Gives us power when we're boondocking for our devices. It's an extra power generator for when we have power outages at our house. Plus, we learned it's a bonus battery topper for our Airstream at those times when we can't run the fuel generator because of the noise that it makes. So, winner all the way around. If you're interested in buying one of these for yourself, go ahead and click on the description below the video. There we've got a link to this product at Amazon through our page. Appreciate it if you buy it there. And to keep up to date on future videos, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell. That'll keep you posted when we've got future updates on places that we visit, gear reviews, and other things that we've got to share with you. Thanks for watching.